Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm really excited to walk you through my latest project. I really wanted to do one of the AI based project for a while now, and here I am. So this project is a smart hospitality review summarizer, an AI powered tool designed to extract meaningful insights from hotel reviews and using the state of art of natural language processing NLP. So this product would really help out the product owners and business leaders in hospitality and theme park industries to gain actionable insights from customer reviews at scale. So today, this product owners or the hotel owners, they have to really go to the various sites, read manually all the different reviews which they have put maybe in the TripAdvisor or hotel reviews, Google reviews, and really read out manually, or have a full-time equivalent person really going through all of those things and responding to those review comments, which would really help their business to grow. But it is very tedious job to be done, and it is kind of really eating up all the hours which would be going to do that same thing. So instead of that, this AI power tool will summarize, and it will bring the sentiment analysis to highlight key strengths, pinpoint the areas of improvement, and uncover the trends across service categories like cleanliness, staffing issues, behavior, amenities, and guest experience. So let's dive into it. So in yeah, this again we have broken down into two phases. Phase one is more in terms of the things which is really required for me to submit for this competition of Kaggle project of Google's Capstone project. Sorry, I meant Capstone project. So, and in this, there are good amount of capabilities which we are delivering by April 12th, which is the deadline. And then I would continue to update this tool further for future product enhancements. So as part of the base product, in this we are providing where all the categorizations which are done, the output of this particular AI tool is summarized and put in a JSON file, which we can see in the output. And it is also doing good amount of document understanding. So for this project, in part of phase one, I'm using a simple Excel file which has real world reviews which has been put across, which has been fed in that Excel. And then I'm using the couple of language models to do the embeddings, and also using RAG, the Retrieval-Augmented Generation, using FLAN T5 model. We are in this as part of the phase one, also doing the vector store fez index, and then the classification of the reviews. So let's jump into it. And as part of the phase two, I would say the later releases, I'm planning to build the live agents which would talk with this various sites through Google API and different API. Use ML ops so that this product can be productionalized and can be used in a much more streamlined way. So we have put across a GitHub which can be accessed, and right now all these things is right now in the Kaggle. There are some we started already creating the folder structures and putting the required files in the respective folder so that we can eventually push this in ML ops format. Yeah, regarding the use case of this project, which I already just talked about, but just to refresh over here, imagine a hotel manager trying to understand the guest feedback from various sites like booking.com, Google, and TripAdvisor. Instead of reading these hundreds of reviews manually, this tool will summarize the guest experience, categorize the pros and cons of the from the real review using the ground summarizer, and give the feedback back to the product owner. Over here I have provided where you can just put some query, so you can just modify. This is more like a tool where you are free to put whatever text you want and then just run. So this summarizer would read through all the reviews, and based on what you are asking, it will provide you the response. So the initial one is where I'm installing all the required Python libraries, starting with sentence transformers, using fairs index, and also some of the visualization which would be done using the matplotlib, and also using pandas for various different utilities like data frames and so on. This is all the imports which I'm doing for the required libraries. And with respect to, there are different labels. So these are the different labels which we are using in this particular project for doing our classification on the reviews. So these are the categories which we have put across, like cleanliness, location, value, service, and food availability. So for example, when a customer is putting a review, he can just put across multiple things in a given review, like the hotel was really good but the food was bad. So this line we are breaking into clauses. In this case, two clauses. One clause goes for the hotel review, another one goes for the food part of it, and that's how it is categorizing your review, and also putting a sentiment, whether this sentiment was a positive or negative. As I said, for this phase 1 we are using the sample data set which is imported from an Excel, and that's what we are doing. Let me start this, let me edit, and so that I can quickly show the input. So right now this Jupyter notebook is loading, and as you can see, these are my data sets and various sentiments which we are using, the category rules and sentiment overrides. We'll get to the details of that, and the actual project, the file itself, which is reading through that aspect of it. And also the output, once we run, we will be able to see the JSON file getting generated. So let me run. Okay, maybe I'll run this at the end. Let me quickly walk through at a high level the different code set part of it. Okay, loading the data files. Then I'm loading, these are all the pre-trained models which I'm using for summarizing, for classification, and the sentence transformers. So for example, over here I'm using a Flant T5 which is used for my ground summarizer, and I'm using the sentence transformer mini LM L6v2, which would read my reviews and convert that to the for my embeddings, and that so that the embeddings can be stored in the vector store, which can be used for ground summarization. So this is where we are converting that to the embeddings using the language mini L6v2 model, splitting the reviews into multiple clauses, and this is where we are doing the categorization. And again, so if I open this categorization, so let me quickly show you the rules. So if you see over here, these are the various category rules. If I can drag this, so I have cleanliness, location, value, and in cleanliness, these are various strings which I put across, and location, value. Similarly for services like staff, reception, helpful, rude, friendly, and so on. For each of those categories, put the specific strings which are used. So this would really help the model to categorize and give the output the way we would need it. And also we also have defined the sentiment override. This is more like once so these are the manual overrides based on the each line. So there are negative and positive if there are any words on that specific clause. So as I said, we'll be breaking into multiple clauses. If I take the same example again, where you have the hotel room was really good but food was bad, so this got broke into two clauses. And the first clause, sentiment, in this case room, would go in positive, which would be given by default by the model itself. But there are some overrides where wherever we find this keyword, so in this case totally recommend, so for example I would have said this hotel I will totally recommend. So by default, so this will take that sentiment as positive. And similarly, when I say the food was bad, by default this will be, the model will be giving the sentiment. But again, these are the scenarios where we are overriding, so it becomes more precise, and that's how this sentiment is helping out in this case. And this is the code completely going and doing that stuff as I just said, breaking into clauses, doing the classification, and using this category rules and sentiments to really create that structure which would be returned back. So the structure will be having all the clauses and the corresponding sentiments which are getting populated and categorized. Then that particular data is fed for doing the summarization, and this is where it will enumerate. Okay, before that I missed one aspect of it. So initially as part of the sentence transformer, it creates the top k. So in this case, in my data set, let's say I have 30 reviews or 50 reviews. In that I'm saying, hey, you know that out of that, give me the top k. Or when I say top k, in this again, k is more configurable. In this case we are giving top 10. Let me check. If I go back down to my ground summarizer, and see over here, I'm calling the ground summary functionality with k equal to 10. So it will take the top 10 reviews which is similar to what I am looking for. So in this case I'm looking for, so if let me go back to my query. Sorry, I'm really sorry for going up and down, but if you see, my query is tell me what guest thinks about this food in the Disneyland Paris. So it will look out of that 50 reviews and it will bring the top 10 reviews which are close to this aspect of what I'm looking for. And then it will do the summarization part of it using all the things which we just walked through in terms of sentiment, categorization, and it will start spitting out the ground summarization of our review. So let's see over here, it does this part, and again it will go through all the positive and negative sentiment counts and creating a good summarization for us. And over here, this is the prompt which I'm using, in which again I'm saying, hey, summarizing the visitor reviews about Disneyland parks, and the various format which I'm asking it to give it back to me. And this is what is fed to the flan t5, and we are the top k, which is in this case the top 10 reviews, are fed to that, and then it generates the output. And that same ground summarized output is given for the visualization, and it takes that particular data and creates the required output. So if I scroll down, the one which I previously ran, so if you see over here, it generated me a nice graph, and it is saying like, hey, in this case, okay, before, so see over here, so the query which we asked was, tell me the guest, what guest thinks about the food in Disneyland Paris. And this is what the summary it gave. Yeah, it's a great location, friendly staff, clean rooms, and great value for money. And this is the sentiment breakdown which I got. Like, this is like, if I see, I got a very good positive result. I would say the overall thing, these are with respect to negative. Sorry, this is where I got a Q fairness which really shot up. I have few positive of them in maintenance and food availability. I do see a score in food availability and location, but overall I do see a negative sentiment, and that's what it is also saying over here. So if you see in the summarization, food availability 19%, Q fairness 17, and sentiment breakdown and overall sentiment it just gave as negative. And this is where it really helps out the product owners, as I said, as at the start of this particular introduction. This really helps the business leaders to really focus on their weaknesses and the areas of improvement, so that they can make their business grow. That's all I wanted to talk in this video. Feel free to ask me questions or put comments. Thanks everyone. Thank you. Bye. Have a blessed day.